Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to give you a little background into our doctoral program. So at DaVinci, we have 2 doctoral degrees on offer to students. We have a Doctor of Business Leadership, and then we also have a doctorate in the management of technology and innovation. While these both are doctoral degrees, they focus slightly different. The doctorate in business leadership, clearly the focus is on leadership in business today, and it could be in any kind of business, whether it's entrepreneurs, small business, massive multinational businesses, and it's about all aspects that deal with leadership. Then the doctorate in management of technology and innovation is about how do you manage within a business enterprise the aspects that relate to technology and innovation. So yes, it looks at the technical side of things in business today, what technologies are available, why they are important, and how to manage them, as well as going into the future, what types of technologies we can expect to find being applied in business. Then it also focuses on innovation, and innovation touches on how people innovate, why they innovate, and the kinds of innovations that we do find in business today, in the business world, what works, what doesn't work too well, and so these are the focus areas. Now let me give you a little background into our approach at DaVinci at doctoral level. We find that through experience and research, of course, we focus to a large extent on the learning process, on teaching and learning, and how the brain functions during teaching and learning. So the first difference in our approach is we are transdisciplinary at DaVinci. We do not have faculties, we do not have departments, and the reason for this is we do not believe that knowledge belongs in silos. So we adopt a transdisciplinary approach where candidates look at any issue, any problem from multiple perspectives before deciding on a solution to a problem. Then in our doctoral programs, everybody is expected to address a real life work-based challenge, and this means that it's not going to be just research for research's sake, but the outcome that we expect is something that is transformative, something that will transform their business, will improve their business or their sector for that matter, and it will also lead to a transformation in society. This could mean an economic contribution, a shift in the economy, a shift in terms of the approach to doing business. So whatever it is, it has to lead to action, and therefore some kind of transformation is the action that we look for. Then what we also focus on is that excuse me, the approach that we follow is based on our own framework for management leadership, known as the TIPS framework. And very briefly, the TIPS framework is a registered trademark of DaVinci, and the T stands for technology, the I for innovation, the P for people, and S, bringing it all together into a systems approach. So this is the framework that we use in the postgraduate program, and people have to reflect at their particular problem or challenge that they are studying through the lenses of the TIPS framework. Then, what is very important, and this is not by chance, but it's by design, that we utilize systems thinking, and therefore what is very important is that one approaches their study totally uninfluenced, without the influence of any other person. What do I mean by this? Well, we do not appoint a supervisor to the candidate while you are planning and writing your proposal. Our proposal writing phase takes at least 6 months. In these 6 months, we have 6 to 7 compulsory workshops that every candidate has to attend. These workshops are interactive, they are in the evening and online, and they help candidates to develop the capacity to write their proposals without any influence by any other person, therefore no supervisor involvement. The first workshop covers conceptualization of the research. It deals with the candidate's own theoretical and conceptual framework. What is your worldview? What are your values? What do you stand for? And such things. The second workshop covers research paradigms, so relate to research philosophy. What are paradigms in research, and how the paradigms also help determine the design of the study and the methods used. Then the third workshop helps you develop a topic. So how to select from all your problems and challenges, how to narrow that down to a topic, and then how to narrow that down to a research title based on the problem you're investigating, and then how to write the aims and objectives of your study. If one is doing qualitative study, we also take you through how to write your research questions, and if you're doing a quantitative study, how to write your hypotheses. Then, after the third workshop, you're expected to make a submission online with what we call Chapter 1. So Chapter 1 is an overview of your entire research project. You get qualitative feedback online. You make the improvements based on the feedback that you get, and you keep your Chapter 1 aside as you progress with workshops 4, 5, 6, and 7. So workshop 4 is about project planning and all the project related issues and the problems and challenges that one expects and finds and deals with. Then workshop 5 is about research methods. We deal with quantitative and qualitative methods, how to do sampling, what instruments to use, etc. The next workshop is workshop 6, and in this workshop you are taken through the TIPS framework, the details of the TIPS framework and how it works and what it stands for, and the thorough understanding of this framework. After that workshop, you are given an opportunity then to submit chapter 3. Chapter 2 you do not have to submit, because usually in most doctoral studies chapter 2 is a literature review. You're not required to do a comprehensive literature review. So chapter 3 deals with design and methodology. So here you will in detail describe your research design and methodology, and once you submit online, you are given both qualitative and quantitative feedback. you make the changes, you make improvements, and if you obtain a minimum of 60%, your proposal is approved. For people whose proposal is approved, within a month, you are then appointed for the first time a supervisor who's a subject matter expert. And where necessary, for people who are doing highly technical kinds of studies in business or industry, and you need a field supervisor, a specialist in your area, then we do appoint a co-supervisor as well. Once you have your supervisors, you meet with them, you get to know them, they get to know you, you exchange notes on what you're doing, you exchange proposal, and also your project plan for completion of this study. This is very important because at DaVinci we pay tremendous emphasis on assisting you and supporting you to manage your project, to manage so that you complete in the required time. Then, after that, you are given about a month in which to finalize your proposal with the inputs of your supervisor or supervisors. You submit it to the research office, and then that, once it's approved, is your final research proposal. Thereafter, you apply for ethics clearance with the research committee, and that in a very short space of time is approved if there's no problems. So once you have your ethics clearance certificate, you are at liberty then to schedule and go ahead with the advice of your supervisor on conducting the actual research by gathering your data and writing up the different chapters, etc. So I've mentioned support in the doctoral program. We give, apart from these workshops that we've mentioned that assists you to prepare your proposal, we have a number of other workshops, webinars, meetings online, etc., where it is advisable for you to attend because you are given an opportunity to give expression to your voice in these workshops. At DaVinci we value the student voice, and here, by participating with the business sector, by other colleagues, by people from different institutions, you're able to critique and give input into issues that are being discussed. These kinds of workshops could be research related, for example, how to do academic writing, how to specifically do a literature review, how to write up the results of your study, etc. And at other times, they're current topics of interest. So some expert may deliver a webinar or a talk on blockchain. Somebody else may speak to issues of technology or economics for that matter. Whatever is current and topical. So this is open to a wide audience and not just to students. Then, in addition to this kind of support, we also give you what I call pastoral care. Internally and in-house, based on appointment, we have student support because we know that all students at some point or the other, for some reason or the other, experience difficulties. And at this point then is where the student support comes in, and we found by experience that this helps students get over the little hurdles, the little challenges that they have. It could be anything dealing with study or home or work and those kinds of pressures that affect your study, and so the psychological support is given to you. In addition to that, we have full library support for you, and the library support means you can order any article, journal, etc. through the library, and you contact the librarian for assistance, and they take you through the different search engines and the different websites and help you with locating either books or research articles. So with that said, I want to conclude. Thank you.